Very specific.
Like that.
Yeah.
Like guy that knows how to call his shots.
What's the last name again? I'm sorry.
Tawani with T.
T, thank
Yes.
you. Okay.
It's not
Spell it?
Italian. Okay. So, what do you think when Spider-Man came to your desk?
Well, you mean the movie, the offer to make the movie?
Yes.
Well, I was worried that I wouldn't know how to pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to know the ugly truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was frightened that I didn't know how to do all the tremendous sequences that would be demanded of a picture called Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought maybe I'll change the name of the picture.
Yeah, to what?
No, I'm joking. I'm joking, of course. That was the first thought that came to my mind.
Mm-hmm. Do you have worries about the visual effects or the lore that surrounds Spider-Man?
Yes, there was a lot of history to Spider-Man, and visual effects would be the solution to the problem of making Spider-Man move as gracefully and as beautifully as I knew the fans of the comic book would expect. So I was lucky enough to hook up with John Dykstra, who's a somewhat famous and very talented visual effects designer.
Yeah, one of the founders of ILM.
Oh, let's see, maybe so. I think that he definitely got that Academy Award for
The Dykstra Flex.
Star Wars, the Dykstra Flex. That's right. That's right. Well, why don't you tell the story since you know so much? I'm kind of faking it over here.
Okay, so you're a young filmmaker who has a visual flair for movies, and
Who's
okay?
that?
You.
Well, thank you.
And when Spider-Man, the Spider-Man movie, it has a lot of humor. It was done on purpose to bring the comic books to the screen, because in Spider-Man comics
right.
you can see he's thinking about, buying the coffee while he's swinging with his webs and.
Yeah. Yes, that's exactly right. There's a lot of that humor in Stan Lee and Steve Ditko's Spider-Man comic book, and all the other writers and artists that followed them added quite a bit of humor to Spider-Man. He's irreverent. He doesn't have a lot of respect for bad guys. He doesn't mind making wisecracks. So we tried to keep that spirit of fun and that kind of goofy teenage superhero quality in our picture.
Mm-hmm. And do you like Superman because there are two jokes about one of the told by Rosemary Harris and the other one Toby is running and he opens his shirt. It's not on purpose?
That's right. Well, I love Superman, and that shot's my tribute to the Superman movie. I love that movie so much. Richard Donner did such a brilliant job that some people, I was so moved by that as a kid. I just wanted to cheer when I saw that film. Thought Donner really captured the essence of the comic book and brought it to the screen. And in some ways, that was my similar job on this picture. I wanted to capture what we love about Spider-Man and just translate it without getting in the way.
Why was the Dr. Octopus discarded in favor of the Green Goblin in the early scripts?
Why was Doc Ock there instead of the Green Goblin?
Mm-hmm.
Because
the visual artwork of the pre-production shows Dr. Octopus.
That's right. It's because the original writer, David Koepp, wrote a somewhat different first draft and chose Dr. Octavius, Dr. Octopus, and Sandman and Electro, other of Spider-Man's villains. Mm-hmm. And my whole approach to the movie, though, was when I came aboard, I wanted it to be the personal story of Peter Parker. I wanted it to be a romance, and any villain that's to be in the piece has to have an impact on Peter Parker, since he's really the subject matter of this film. So it turned out that the Green Goblin, in his alter ego of Norman Osborn, was something of a surrogate father to Peter Parker. He's Peter Parker's best friend's father. And Parker, without a mother or father, could kind of look up to Norman Osborn as a role model. And Osborn could reach out to Parker. He thought of him as someone who he wished his own son could more emulate. Parker was a hard-working kid. He had raised himself up by his own bootstraps, as they say, like Norman Osborn. Osborn's own son, of course, was the son of a rich man, and although it was Osborn's doing, he held his son in low regard. And so there's a special connection between those two that I needed. I wanted the villain to impact Peter Parker's life. When Norman becomes the villain, the Green Goblin, he battles Spider-Man, which is quite interesting, that they're friends by day, or they have this particular relationship of closeness by day, and at night they're arch enemies. And it was also good for me because once Goblin found out that Spider-Man was none other than this kid Peter Parker, this kid he had reached out and given everything to, even at the expense of denying his own son this love in favor of Parker, well, he felt a tremendous sense of betrayal and anger at Parker. And I could go on, but what I mean to say
Just gonna
is,
get ahead of.
that's right. What I mean to say is I wanted someone that would interact personally with Parker to give the story the dramatic